Hey, so today, as promised in the last couple of videos, we're going to install the Billet Technology's oil catch can. Now, before we get into that, just quickly, why is this important? Well, because in a fuel-injected engine, gasoline is misted into the cylinder, mixed with air coming from the air intake through here, and then ignited to make an explosion to push the cylinder down, the piston down in the cylinder to generate horsepower. Now the problem is that a lot of times, well some of the time, some of that air and gas mixture blows by the piston, and by the way, there's oil surrounding the piston to lubricate it going up and down in the cylinder, and it blows by and it picks up a little bit of that oil. So the mixture of oil, air, and a little bit of gasoline then builds up in the crankcase, builds up pressure, which needs to be released. So there's a positive crankcase valve right there that lets, when the pressure builds up, lets the air out of the crankcase back out here, where it comes down this and goes back into the air intake. Now, if you're smart and you're ahead of me already, you know, well, wait, this means that gasoline and oil mixed with the air is also going back in here and is going to go back through and get reignited and can cause carbon buildup on your head. It's bad. By the way, there's a video, Engineering Explained, that I will link to up here somewhere that'll tell you how that all works in more detail. I gave you the big thing. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put this in line with this. So this is going to come out of the crankcase into the oil catch can, which will then catch the oil and gasoline and liquid and water, anything else in there, and only let the air come back out the other side and go back in here like it's supposed to. So that's what we're going to do. It's a fairly easy install according to everything I've seen people do it. Oh, and before we get going, my t-shirt today is merch from Your Auto Advocate. Go to their YouTube page and you can order this merch yourself. By the way, I know I'm getting my head cut off here, but I wanted this to be in the picture, so anyway. But Your Auto Advocate, if you're ever going to buy a car, they're good to watch. They're entertaining as heck. Their website, yourautoadvocate.com, has all sorts of great tools if you're actually about to buy a car, and they even have some paid options. But just watch their videos, and by the time you're ready to buy a car, you'll know as much as the car dealer knows, and you'll be on even footing, and you'll have a good time. Go watch my video, How to Buy a Car. I'll put a pointer up to that. How to sell a car, I think is what I called it. But it was my experience, and I mentioned Your Auto Advocate. Anyway, this is their merch, so that's my pitch. Okay, let's get on this. So the first thing we're going to have to do is take this out of here. And from everything I see, there you go, it pops right out. Oh, I'm turning this around because the what is this called? Anyway, that's going to come from here into here. Now, by the way, let's see. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of oil on here, but the car only has 250 miles on it. Anyway, I'm going to keep this over here in case I ever want to remove this. Now, step 2, we have to actually install the catch can. And if you'll notice, I have a pry tool here because now some catch cans use this bolt right here that is unused, but the Billet Technologies does not. They use this hole down in here, I don't know why they don't use that one. It's just sticking out there. Looks like it wants to have something screwed onto it. And a catch can would be a perfect thing, but no, they attach this down here, and this has something in it. It's a wiring bundle that's like torqued in there, and you have to pry that out. There. Just about got it. There we go. Okay. Now, surely from one of these cameras you can see that there is a screw hole there. And that is where we are going to mount the oil catch can. Here. First, we're going to put this in here. Oh wait, now we're going to want this. We're going to want this spacer on here. So see, we're going to want this to go on here. Okay, sorry, I'm blocking the camera here. I have as many cameras as I could get working. I still have one more, but something wrong with the battery. Anyway, so we're getting this tightened up. By the way, this is why this righty-tighty. This is why I have this 13mm, which apparently is not the right size. Oh yeah, it is the right size. Okay. Never mind. Stand you up. Okay. Now you will see that that is screwed in, and because of that spacer, the wires that were jammed, that were plugged into the hole there, are now kind of caught behind the spacer. They're fine, but I don't have to worry about them flopping around in there. I always worry about having things not tight enough, so we will. That's pretty tight. Now, Billet Technologies. Oh, by the way, Billet Technologies does great work. I mean, this is all machined aluminum and really nice. But they have one problem that I'm a little annoyed with them. When you order something from them, they immediately charge your PayPal, even though I didn't get this for 2.5 months after they charged me for it, which technically is against the law. You're supposed to ship a product within 30 days once it's been paid for. But more to the point, I went back like a day later. I decided I wanted it white to match the body color. Well, orders can't be changed or canceled because they've already been released to production. Bull, because again, I didn't get it for 2 months. It was not released to production. It was just for their own convenience, so I'm a little annoyed with it. Okay, well, but they do provide these lovely bushings that you can put in here. All right, so get your hoses to fit. Put one in here. Well, this one's a little harder to get in. Almost. It's hurting my palm. It's hurting. See, look, it's digging holes in my hand. pushing that in. Well, maybe I should push it in with something else. That's not very helpful. Well, I don't think I have to worry about it coming out. Now, here comes the tricky part. These hoses are just a tad bit long. So I want this hose to come from here to here, but as you can see, it is way too long. So I'm going to have to cut it down. I want to make a little bit of a turn to put a little pressure on. So I'm going to cut it right there at the cut. And this one is going to go straight from there to there. So we're going to cut this one right in the middle of the 1/2. So I'm going to go do that, go find my hose cutters, and I will be back. Okay, hose is cut. So now see, now we have like jagged edges where I cut. But look at that. Well, actually, it's a little long, but they give us these lovely little hose end covers, which we can put on here, which will disguise the ugliness of the cut I made. So you put that over there. Okay, I'm going to tighten that up a little bit more in a minute. Oh, remind me, will you? Okay, see again, ugly cut end, but we put this lovely hose end cover on it. Presto, not so ugly. And again, we have a hose end cover. Notice that this end's completely open. This end has a little lip that goes around the end of the hose. I'm sure y'all can figure that on your own. Okay. Still a tad bit long, but it will survive. I'm not cutting it again. There we go. There we go. Okay. That is installed. Now, every time I change my oil, oh, by the way, because this is upside down, lefty-loosey is actually the other direction. So if you can see, I'm turning it to the right because it's upside down. Upside down, if I turn it upside down, then it would be left to the left. Be lefty-loosey. So every time I change my oil, I'm going to take this out and dump it out. And if you watch any of the other videos where people have put on oil catch cans, you will discover that they always find at least some. Sometimes these are half full. Depends on how long they've gone. If you go between oil changes, it can almost fill up, but there is another brand, JLT, I think, that has a much bigger catch can. So if you don't want to have to do this every time you change your oil. Oh, and again, I'm turning it the wrong way. There, finally caught. Okay, I don't know if this cover is touching it, and I had to push against the cover a little bit. But yeah, no, it's tightening on just nice and. Okay, I think it would have looked nicer white, And if Billet Technologies didn't lie about how fast they were going to make these things, if they let you cancel or respec within like a day, really, a day, been released to production. They made it 2 months later. It was not released to production. It would look a lot nicer in white, maybe. It doesn't look bad because everything it's up against is black. Now, by the way, I have more Billet Technology stuff coming that's all white. I've got a cover for this, for the ABS. I've got a cover for that. I've got basically almost all these covers, the screw caps and everything are all going to be replaced with white machined aluminum. So that's what's coming. I also have the rock guards that I still haven't put on. Although today would have been a good day for that because it's like 77, I think, right now. No, it's only 75. And lying on the ground wouldn't have been such a big thing, but I needed to turn the car around because those I need to put on that side because this side is the side I experimented on. Okay, that's it for today. That's an oil catch can. Again, check out the thing. Check out, not my sponsor, just people I respect and like their channel. Your Auto Advocate. Check them out. They don't pay me a dime. Although they did give me free VIN polls on their website. By the way, they give them to everybody. But if you only need to look at a couple of cars, you can get by with the free ones. But if you pay them a little bit of money, they will give you like almost infinite polls of VIN numbers to look up prices. They're linking the Black Book for used car prices. It's an amazing site. Go check it out. But again, they're not paying me anything. I just like them, and they're very entertaining. So, that's the oil catch can. I will see y'all in the next one. Stay warm or get cooled. Depends.